Porters, let's talk about Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Now, I've said I'm always going to be fair on this channel. Angel Reese is playing much better. All right, she is. I don't want to act like, look, it's one thing for a couple of games. When you're into 7 and 8 games in a row of your game looking a lot different, there's a chance she has changed her game for the better. And I think it's because of shot selection. All right. Now, some of that may come from the coaching of Tyler Marsh.
What happens when Angel Reese fans go full FBI mode on Twitter and poor Tyler Marsh forgets how to coach a basketball team? Boom. Welcome to the meltdown of the century. The Chicago Sky just got roasted by the Lynx, and now fans want Marsh escorted out with security and a whistle-shaped eviction notice. Grab your popcorn. This drama's hotter than a courtside seat in July. Is this a team rebuild or a public breakup? Let's dive in.
And the Chicago Sky is falling. The sky is falling, y'all. Chicago Sky fans are crashing out crazy on head coach Tyler Marsh. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't blame them. Not for this one. I do not blame the Chicago Sky fans for crashing out and calling for Tyler Marsh's job on
Angel Reese fans have officially reached that magical level of delusion where reality is just an optional side quest. You could drop a full textbook of basketball strategy in their laps and they'd still ask why Reese isn't being handed the MVP trophy just for clocking in. These folks have somehow convinced themselves that effort equals excellence and that stumbling into a double-double while the scoreboard burns is basically a Nobel Prize-worthy achievement.
Angel showing some improvement, and now Chicago Sky fans are pissed. Is it Chicago Sky fans or is it Angel Reese fans? That's the thing that you just don't quite know. They're pissed at Tyler Marsh. And I'm like, but what if Angel's development is because of his coaching? Well, what if this found success is because of his coaching? You still want him run off? Because she obviously looks like an improved player.
And let's be brutally honest here. Angel Reese is not getting guarded like Caitlin Clark. Not even close. Caitlin's defenders treat her like she's carrying a flamethrower and the rule book, tight coverage, endless traps, every screen fought like rents do. Meanwhile, Reese? Teams are practically daring her to shoot. They give her more space than a broke guy at the jewelry store. Opposing coaches are drawing up plays with the words, "Let her shoot." No, seriously, let her.
Listen, these days watching the Chicago Sky compete is not that at all. It's like watching paint dry, unfortunately. One player I will never stop believing in is Angel Reese. Angel Reese is a straight up baller, double-double queen. In the first half, she already almost had a double-double against New York Liberty. However, I'm sorry, man. The coaching and the coaching decision continue to make the Sky look even worse than the roster is. Listen, I understand, y'all. If the roster is bad, it's hard. But Teaspoon had a hard roster last year as well. And she may not have been the best X's and O's coach, but she worked with what she...
At this point, the disrespect is so blatant it might qualify for a technical. But somehow, Reese's fans interpret this as proof of greatness. Like, see, they're scared. No, they're just not concerned. The scouting report literally reads, "Don't waste energy, she'll miss it herself." And yet, there she goes, barreling into the paint with the finesse of a bulldozer on roller skates. The shoulder comes down, the body slams through defenders like it's WWE night, and boom, layup attempt. Maybe it goes in, maybe it flies halfway to Wisconsin, but the real magic? No whistle. None. Somehow, the refs develop a sudden allergy to fouls every time she goes full rhino in the lane.
Now, I've been on the record saying, hey, I don't think this coach has much talent to work with over there. You got Camila Cardoso, who's now gone overseas. I don't think there's much talent over there for him to work with. I don't believe there's a single coach in the WNBA who would have this team in the playoffs. I just think there's a real lack of talent over there in Chicago. It just is what it is. But look, bro, I told you about a month ago, Tyler Marsh, you might be looking for work soon.
And then there's the defense, or what we're generously calling defense, because Reese gets blocked so often you'd think she was practicing volleyball at this point. She's setting career highs in rejection letters, and we're not talking Ivy League. Rim protectors see her charging in and light up like Christmas, another chance to pad their stats. It's like watching someone try to dunk through a closed garage door over and over, and still expecting a different outcome. The shot chart looks like a connect-the-dots puzzle of failure. Let's not even get started on the turnovers. Actually, scratch that. Let's absolutely get into it. Because these aren't your typical tried-to-thread-the-needle types. These are, hey, let's just gift-wrap the ball and hand-deliver it to the other team type turnovers. Like she sees a defender and thinks, you know what, you deserve this. The passes, wild. No-look heaves to ghosts. Full spend missile to someone who's clearly on the bench. If there's a player within 5 feet of a turnover, odds are high it's a teammate trying to dodge the ball like it's dodgeball, not basketball.
I do not know how many more times it can be shouted from the rooftops. Fire Jeff Palagoka and Tyler Marsh before the clock strikes midnight. I turned the game on to see that this man Tyler Marsh emptied the whole bench midway through the third quarter. I saw an 8-point deficit go to 10, 10 go to 20, 20 go to 30, 30 push to damn near 40. This type of incompetence cannot, that can't be rewarded with a paycheck anymore. It's time to let that man go. Same thing with Jeff. That kind of incompetence cannot be rewarded.
And then there's the stat padding. Oh boy, the stat padding. You can't miss it. Playing 37 minutes in a blowout like it's Game 7 of the finals just to squeeze out one more rebound or a garbage time putback. By the fourth quarter, everyone else is on cruise control and she's out there sweating like it's Navy SEAL training. But somehow the fans spin it as dedication, commitment. Meanwhile, the box score tells a different story. Like Angel Reese with 10 points on 27 shots, 11 rebounds, and 5 turnovers. But wow, what heart. No mention of the 5 bunnies missed at the rim or the 3 passes to the other team's mascot. Watching her games feels like someone's trying to glitch their way through basketball. There's effort, sure. Effort's not the issue. But effort without efficiency is just chaos with cardio. And yet the Reese Brigade thinks every missed layup is a conspiracy, every block is a foul, every turnover is sabotage. It's like watching someone trip over their own shoelaces and blame the floor for being mean. But here's the wild part. Opponents don't even strategize for her like they do for actual threat. They don't need double teams. They don't need schemes. The plan is basically, let her play. She'll handle it herself.
It's just bad. It seems like Tyler Marsh doesn't have a plan. He doesn't really have offensive schemes, defensive schemes. I mean, I feel like a robot repeating myself. But it's just crazy to see it over and over every game. It's not even about them losing. It's atrocious on the perimeter, and he doesn't address any of that, man. He just doesn't address any.
And by handle it, we mean plow into traffic, throw up a prayer, and jog back on defense like it's a casual stroll through denial. If Caitlin Clark got even half this treatment, unguarded, unchecked, unfazed, she'd have 50 before halftime and still have time to stretch. Meanwhile, Reese fans are shouting into the void, demanding Tyler Marsh's head on a social media platter because apparently he's not designing offensive plays where she's surrounded by cones instead of defend. They don't want a coach. They want a hype man. Someone who'll just hand her the ball, turn off the shot clock and say, go get him, champ. And when the team inevitably loses, they point fingers at everyone else. The refs, the coach, the lighting, Mercury in retrograde, never mind the 5 missed layups and 3 volleyball spikes the other team delivered on her head. That's just part of the game, apparently. And let's talk about shooting form, or whatever that motion is. Watching Reese shoot outside the paint is like witnessing someone do math on live TV. It's shaky, hesitant. The ball arcs like it's trying to find a Wi-Fi signal before landing 3 feet short. But again, defenders aren't pressing her. They're stepping back like she just told them she's contagious. And that's the point. No one's even bothering.
So I'm back with my bonnet, so y'all know what time it is. I just watched the Minnesota and the Chicago Sky game, and I have to be fair. Minnesota, they came ready to play, but Chicago did too. I feel like the problem with the Chicago Sky is they were out-coached. They had a couple injuries. And yeah, I feel like Mr. Marsh needs to understand that when Angel Reese is tired like that, he needs to pull her out. Because what happens is, I've noticed she starts to make unnecessary turnovers. some things that turned into fast break points, just little things that's going to come with time and development. However, I feel like Chicago was most definitely outcoached today.
Because what's the point in closing out on a jump shot that has the accuracy of a coin toss in a hurricane? But oh, the stat line, that glorious double-double. It doesn't matter if it took 16 offensive rebounds off her own misses to get there. Doesn't matter if half those rebounds were off shots she never should have taken, because the numbers look shiny, and shiny numbers are all it takes to convince the Reese fandom that dominance is happening. Meanwhile, the scoreboard's screaming you're down by 20, but apparently that's just a technicality. Reese is still trying to perfect the bulldoze then look confused routine every time a whistle doesn't blow in her favor. And her fans? They act like she's the second coming of Dennis Rodman, if Rodman had a GPS that only tracked rebounds and bad decisions. By the time the final buzzer sounds, you're left wondering if you just watched a basketball game or an elaborate prank on logic. Because in what universe does someone play nearly the entire game, shoot 30%, throw the ball away like it's radioactive, and still walk off like they just secured world peace? But the Reese supporters will defend it all, with the passion of medieval knights and the reasoning of dial-up internet. Any critique? Hater. Any observations? Misogyny. Any statistics? Fake news. You could show them the game tape, the stats, the open looks defenders are begging her to take, and they'd still say, she's just built differently. And they're right. She is built differently, just not in the way they think. This isn't dominance. It's denial dressed up as hustle. Well, those are just part of the show. Watch the actual game, not the box score, because if all you see are double-doubles on paper, you'd think Angel Reese is operating at elite WNBA levels. But cue up the tape and suddenly it's not basketball, it's community theater with a scoreboard. Every possession looks like it's sponsored by chaos. Footwork? Looks like she's learning TikTok dances mid-drive. Handle? Somewhere between please don't dribble and this is why coaches cry, nothing about it says pro. Unless pro stands for professionally stubborn.
He forgot he had those players until the end of the game. He forgot to do rotations. He stuck with he saw it wasn't working. He just got this man. It reminded me of Teaspoon when she first started. But it was even worse. Tyler Marsh looked like he was stuck on Chuck. Tyler Marsh looked like, I don't know. Tyler Marsh, man, you gotta do better than that, youngin.
That first step, not explosive. It's more like stepping off a city bus after missing your stop. Agitated, off balance, and committed to charging somewhere, even if no one else knows where. If she ever brought the ball up the court under the same heat Caitlin Clark deals with, double teams, traps, full cart mat pickups, her dribble would fold like a cheap beach chair. It would take defenders exactly 3 possessions, maybe 2 if they're caffeinated, to realize, wait, she can't really handle the ball. Boom, press activated, possessions hijacked, turnovers flowing. Suddenly, the coach's clipboard looks like a resignation letter in progress. But no, her fans don't want to hear that. They're too busy quoting stats that were manufactured in 37-minute performances where the game was already over by the third quarter. It's wild. She plays marathon minutes, but instead of leadership and offensive rhythm, all you get is stat scavenging. Half those rebounds? Off her own bricks. It's like recycling, just less effective and with fewer benefits to society. And let's not breeze past this cover athlete situation. Reese on the front of a video game? That wasn't marketing, that was satire. Like, whose idea was this? Were all the motion capture studios booked? There are players changing the actual flow of the game, syncing logo threes, reshaping defense strategies, and the one averaging a highlight reel of blocked layups gets the nod. Somewhere, an intern had to sit in a meeting and pretend this was a solid idea. The kind of idea that would move units, attract fans, build buzz. Instead, what it did was spark a collective head tilt across the basketball community.
I'll agree now that even without having Courtney Vandersloot, Tyler Marsh was just a bad hire. I don't think he's ready to be a head coach just yet. One day, but just not right now. And I don't know what's going on with Angel Reese, but she has been struggling really, 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 really bad. 9 points, 6 of 6 from free throws, and she hit a 3-pointer. But 2 assists, 1 steal, a couple.
Because who's rushing to buy a game just because Angel Reese is on the cover? Her highlight reel consists of missed bunnies, shoulder drives into stationary defenders, and rebounds off her own misses. It's like putting someone on the Wheaties box for almost finishing a race. The marketing pitch must have been she hustles, kinda, and she yells a lot. Great, that's perfect for the loading screen right next to the game over button. Again, watch her play. Really watch. And yet she plays extended minutes as if doing cardio on national television is proof of dominance. Meanwhile, defenders sag off her like she's a known liability beyond 6 feet. It's almost disrespectful. They dare her to shoot like they're in a pickup game and someone said, she's got next. If confidence alone could power field goals, maybe she'd shoot 40%. But the results are closer to lottery ticket odds. And when she does shoot, the form is so mechanical it's practically a cry for help. Rigid, slow, deliberate, the kind of shot you can block with a text message.
Are we serious right now, man? Are we serious? Let's just continue, man. The Sky coach explained that the team needs to be better for Angel Reese, looking to help the Chicago forward succeed with the weapons around her. The man stated, "I don't think Angel struggled tonight. I think we struggled as a team," Marsh said. "It's not about Angel being better for us. It's us being better for Angel." Look, man. Honestly, I can't blame Chicago Sky's struggle all on top.
Off-ball movement doesn't exist. She stands around like she's waiting for a lift. No cuts, no flare-outs, just vibes and verticality. The only time she moves is to crash the boards, again, usually off her own shots. It's like watching someone miss a layup, teleport to the miss, and then act like the rebound is a heroic act of hustle. Rinse, repeat, stat pad. And don't even get started on the transition game. If she's got the ball on a fast break, pray. She's not running an offense. She's running a demolition derby. The dribble's loose, the vision's narrower than a paper towel roll, and the decision-making, questionable at best, hazardous at worst. And again, her fans? Radio silent on that end. No mention of the points given up, the late contests, the missed help reads. Just, she had 12 rebounds. 12 rebounds while being a revolving door on D. Great. Maybe the game should add a new badge. Hustle with no context. That's the thing. The Reese experiment is less about substance and more about spectacle. But that spectacle doesn't age well when everyone starts watching closely, not clips, not filters, full games. And when you strip away the noise, the Instagram posts, the catchphrases, the fans tweeting in all caps, what's left is a player still learning, still raw, and very far from dominance.